Hey, this is the World Advice Channel 2. What I want to talk about today is the problem with blackwashing history. So, when it comes to blackwashing history, which is a trend that's been going on in recent times, that you see in the media all the time, where they have TV shows and movies where they depict black people, you know, doing things that we did not accomplish, as well as, of course, depicting black people as certain historical figures that they actually were not. What I want to talk about today is a problem with blackwashing history. So now that I mention that, let's get started. So when it comes to the topic of blackwashing history, what exactly is a problem with blackwashing history? Well, the biggest problem with blackwashing history to get started with is that it delegitimizes actual authentic black history, okay? Because the truth of the matter is there are actually black civilizations that exist in the past, whether it could be the Mali Empire, um, the Nubians, the Zulus, the empire that built what are now the ruins of Great Zimbabwe. There is authentic African history that existed in the past that was actually pretty cool and quite impressive for that matter, okay? It's just that it's not mentioned very often in the media, okay? And the problem these people create when it comes to this particular situation is that they take away the authenticity of it when it comes to this particular topic, okay? Because they claim, in the process, these goofy people who claim black people did things that they did not actually had a role in doing, is that it create a situation where the racist people go like, okay, so now we can these people are claiming all these things that are absurd, okay, so now make it easier for us to discredit the things that our people actually did. So that is the truth of the matter when it comes to this particular issue, is that when it comes to claiming other people's history, it does damage our community because we are claiming things that are, or I should say, a certain portion of our community are claiming things that they had nothing to do with, which just simply delegitimizes, the authentic history. It's just like the old saying, if you can mix something, that's like 99% truth with like 1% lies, when people catch on to the stuff that's a lie or something, then people will disassociate all the other stuff that's actually true. That's an old saying, okay? And that's a problem with, of course, doing these particular things for that matter, okay? The truth of the matter is, a lot of these history that's been being put out there, whether it relates to Asians, Indians, Arabs, and Polynesians and all this stuff, we had nothing to do with it. That has nothing to do with us, nothing to do with the things we thought of and we created. We had absolutely nothing to do with the things that those people accomplished and they created. Why the hell are some people claiming they claiming that we black people did things, like we taught them things when we had nothing to do with it. Especially in a post Columbus based world, you know, every group of people in the world that lives is obviously, has to take pride in the things that they accomplish. Because when you look at the history of the world, Europeans, one of the biggest things that they did to delegitimize people, which means that, oh boy, whenever they do that, they can do whatever they want to you, which means treating you like absolute shit, was to discredit you and claim that you guys are useless and you contributed nothing to the world in any way, shape, or form, for that matter, okay? And that's one of the things that they did to many other groups of people throughout the world, is claim that you guys didn't do anything, you guys accomplished nothing, and this and that, and for that reason, we can treat you however we want. So, of course, for that very reason, of course, because we all want to be considered human, for that matter, we don't want to be considered like animals or subhumans or whatever you like to say, for that matter, okay? For that reason, that's why when other groups of people, because they themselves have their own history of colonialism, for that matter, that's why other groups of people, whenever you start making those type of claims, they get really pissed about it because they know that when you start taking away people's communities and people's accomplishments, then it means that they can do all sorts of things to you. In other words, it increases the likelihood of discrimination and so on and so forth. So this is why other groups of people, when they do this type of stuff, get so pissed, when you start claiming their history and the things that they actually accomplish and stuff. That's why people get so pissed when that stuff comes up. Because when you delegitimize them, you know, um, when it comes to their accomplishments, then it makes it more easier for racist white people to discriminate against them. So that's why they get so pissed, because they have that way of thinking. Okay, and that's why it's good for us black people to not claim other people's history when we had absolutely nothing to do with their own accomplishments. So that's the truth of the matter. Okay, so that's the first thing I wanted to get across, the first main thing for this video. And the other thing I also want to mention is that why don't we actually just simply um, have actual movies and TV shows and so on and so forth covering actual black history. There's a lot of things that they can cover for actual black history, okay? There's a lot of interesting history I'm certain that happened. There's a lot of things that happened for that matter, okay? Because contrary to popular belief, there was actual African civilizations that existed. There were black civilizations that were around in the past. It just simply doesn't really get mentioned, okay? Particularly the Nubians, who were actually the greatest rival to Egypt, out there. There's so much history, easily hundreds of years of history they could discuss when it comes to discussing the Nubians, particularly, okay? When it comes to discussing what they accomplished and what they dead and so on and so forth. Why don't we cover that? Why don't we have TV shows, movies about that, particularly, whether it's directly about them or at least includes them in some way, shape, or form, instead of wasting our time talking about this sort of crap, that doesn't make any sense and never really happened, like claiming, oh, this particular great influential European leader was black. You know what I'm saying? Like claiming, like, for example, okay, maybe Napoleon's greatest general was black or any of that type of crap. Why don't we actually cover actual authentic black history? There's a lot of things you can find out and do, when it comes to that particular subject for that matter. So that's what is the biggest solution to that actual problem. Okay, because obviously the quicker we start getting included into things, the less likely there will be a desire for people to, of course, have to claim other people's history to feel better about themselves. Okay, because we'll know about our own history, so we'll feel as black people a lot better and a lot greater. So that's the truth of the matter. So why don't they just do that instead? It wouldn't be hard to do. There's a lot of things, particularly about the Nubians, you can find out and look up. So that's what I have to say about that topic. So anyway, this is my video. I hope you enjoyed it. Just remember, if you like this video and videos like this, remember to thumb this video up and hit the subscribe button. And this is all to say, and simply put, I'm out. Hope you enjoyed the video. So bye.